Hello everyone, welcome to Aviation News. Myself Hamid Reza. Our today's news headlines are Etihad Green Liner shows a glimpse of a more sustainable future for aviation, and Airbus aspiration to field a zero-emission narrow body by 2035 hinge not only on overcoming the technical hurdles of designing and building a hydrogen-powered airline. Etihad's Green Liner shows a glimpse of a more sustainable future of aviation. While some delegates at November COP27 climate conference were criticized for arriving by private jet, others arrived in Egypt abroad flights that were described as being emission-free as they were powered fully by sustainable aviation fuel. The flights were part of a program called Green Liner run by Etihad Airways, the national carrier of the United Arab Emirates, as the test bed for sustainable air travel solutions. Commercial aviation accounted for just over 20% of global carbon dioxide emission in 2021, which suggests it may be a modest contributor to climate change. But the number doesn't tell the whole story, as air travel affects the climate in more complex ways than just carbon emissions, and impact is predicted to rise in the future as more and more people will want to fly. Whereas renewable energy and electrical vehicles offer clear pathways to decarbonized sector like power and road transport, is less straightforward for the aviation industry. As a result, the industry is not on track to meet its net zero target by 2050 and is banking on two-thirds of that transition coming from sustainable aviation fuel SAF. It's made from waste product and can curb emission by 80% on average, but it is currently account for just 1% of global jet fuel uses. Something needs to change. First, the Green Liner moniker is often used to refer to a specific 787 aircraft, which Al-Qubaisi calls the program's mascot. Unsurprisingly, it's painted green, which he says is a way pre-empting accusation of greenwashing. It had purchased enough SAF to power the flight and deliver the fuel of Los Angeles International Airport, which has necessarily infrastructure and facilities that the SAF had integrated into the airport's refueling system with traditional fuel and used by whichever aircraft were refueling that day. This system is called book and carry. Now our next news. Airbus aspiration to field a zero-emission narrowed by 2035 hinge not only on overcoming the technical hurdles of designing and building a hydrogen-powered airline, but on the so-called ecosystem that will allow for its operation in transport system. Is now designed to conventionally powered aircraft, bringing hydrogen and the so-called green hydrogen at the right price and the quantity and from the right source to the airports. While Airbus Zero aircraft will operate, stands among the foremost consideration. As Airbus Vice President of Zero's S2 ecosystem, Karen Guinan, put it, there is no point having a zero-emission aircraft if the aircraft doesn't meet airline need. Appearing to Tribulus during the first day of Airbus recent Sustainability Summit, Guinan and the Airbus Vice President of the zero-emission aircraft has hinted to the address infrastructure and ecosystem needs around the world. Last year, it signed an agreement with Changi Airport Group, Global Industrial Gases and the engineering company Linde and the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore CAAS to study the potential for future hydrogen hub in the city-state. Other agreement in Asia Pacific involved a partner in Japan, South Korea and Australia at the same time in the US. Crews completed construction of the hydrogen station at Toulouse-Blagnac Airport earlier this year, and this production, storage and the distribution system are undergoing final testing. The station scheduled to enter service in early 2023 next year will carry the capacity to produce about 400 kg of hydrogen per day, providing the possibility for some 50 ground transportation vehicles. Using hydrogen to decarbonize all airport associated group air transportation in the 2020 to 2030 timeframe will pave the way the hydrogen availability for zero-emission aircraft by 2035. In 2020, Airbus launched the Hydrogen Hub at airport to help airports identify infrastructure requirement for the future hydrogen aircraft and low-carbon airport operation across the entire value chain. During last week's Sustainability Summit, Airbus announced it has started to work on hydrogen fuel cell technology for its planned next generation airline. Thank you everyone. Thank you for hearing our news.